What is teaming? And it is certainly not just teams. Welcome to Thank God It's a Story Saturday, a weekly video series where I share stories with you that you can use to make your messages connect. Today's story is a story that I heard in an interview given by Dr. Amy Edmondson long time ago. Now, the story goes back to 5th of August 2010 in Atacama Desert in Chile, in San Jose copper and gold mine, where miners had come to work in just a normal working day. But it wasn't a normal working day by 2 p.m. local time. A miner's worst nightmare, cave-in took place. Big chunk of granite and rock broke and blocked the passage that the miners had to be able to get out. Those who were closer to the exit obviously dashed, but 33 miners were stuck 2,300 feet underground. And there was a distance of close to 3 miles between them and the exit point. Quickly, one of the shift managers, 54-year-old Luis Uruaza, took control and asked a couple of miners to come along with him to look for an emergency ladder. They did find one ladder, but the problem was that the ladder was not built properly for them to be able to exit. The miners' hope started to fade, and then they looked for a refuge. Refuge is essentially an area within these confined spaces. Should an incident like this take place, it has some supplies. They found the supplies, which was cookies, tuna cans, salmon cans, milk, and some water, but it was only a little bit to last them a few days. And in the next 48 hours, another cave-in took place. Now the miners really were starting to feel upset and sad. Their tempers were flaring and hope was fading. At that point, Luis Uruaza recommended that Henrik, another miner who was of Christian faith, to start leading with prayers and hoping that this would bring some positivity and some calmness into the environment. On the other hand, on the surface, by this time, Chilean government had already been involved. The families were panicking and there was a lot of stress. On the 15th day, finally, they drill a bore in. And when they drilled the bore in, the miners stuck some notes onto the bore. And when they pulled the bore back, they found those notes. In the notes they had written, "We are all fine, all 33 of us." There was this wave of happiness and everybody was excited that miners were finally found. Miners' morale was also lifted, and for the next few days, that little hole will become the lifeline through which glucose, water, and other medical supplies were being sent to these miners underneath. Psychologists advised that they should be sent newspapers to show them what big celebrities these miners had become so that they remain positive. Finally, with the help of experts from many different parts of the world like NASA, Navy SEALs, Chilean government, etc., there was this shaft built because that was the only way to bring these miners up. That was used to bring these miners up one by one. On the 12th of October 2010, the very first miner came out. And then over the next 22 hours, rest of the miners were safely brought out. They all came out with black glasses because their eyes were not used to the sunlight anymore. The operation was a success. But what is the point of this story? The point of this story is that what came into action to make sure that this operation was a successful operation was what is called teaming, defined by Dr. Amy Edmondson. So teaming is not like teams. Teaming is when you team up together on the fly. When you're a team, you know each other, you know each other's weaknesses, you know each other's strengths, and there's like a built relationship and you understand each other and perhaps understand each other even before you have to finish each other's sentence. But teaming is when you have no idea who's who, but you're all working together with different expertise and make something which seems impossible happen. One of the things about teaming is that every expert that walks in saying, "I actually don't know how to do this, but I'm going to go contribute and along with the other experts come to a conclusion." We are so obsessed with perfection and we are so obsessed with knowing everything. We do not allow iterative processes. So teaming allows iterative processes where people come and say, "I don't know, but let's work together, brainstorm, and figure this out." Stay storied, and I'll see you here next Saturday with another story.